Professor Trill9 had taught xenobiology at the Intergalactic Youth Academy for 40 standard cycles, but nothing had prepared her for the day the human children brought their pets to class. Today is Show and Tell Day, she announced to her diverse classroom of young beings from across the galaxy. Who would like to go first? A small Fluffian child eagerly raised her paw, presenting a bioluminescent moss that hummed pleasant melodies. A crystalline youth shared his collection of perfectly symmetrical rocks. Then the human children raised their hands. I brought my dog, announced 8-year-old Tommy Chen, pulling a golden retriever through the doorway on a leash. The classroom erupted in chaos. The Vrelian students immediately activated their emergency shield generators. The Fluffians dove under their desks, their fur standing on end. Even Professor Trill9 felt her 3 hearts racing as she stared at the massive predator with its gleaming fangs and powerful jaws. Tommy, she gasped, her voice translator struggling to keep up with her panicked chirps. That creature is clearly an apex predator. Remove it immediately. Tommy looked confused, his small face scrunched up. But, he's just a dog. His name is Buddy. As if on cue, Buddy's tongue lolled out, his tail wagging so vigorously his entire back half wiggled. He spotted a tentacled student trying to hide behind a chair and immediately bounded over, causing the poor alien to shriek in terror. He's attacking, someone screamed. No, he's trying to lick you. Tommy called out. He likes making friends. Before Professor Trill9 could restore order, another human child, Sophie Martinez, spoke up. If you think that's scary, wait until you see what I brought. She opened a small container, and out crawled a tarantula the size of her palm, its 8 legs moving with deliberate precision. The classroom went deadly silent. This is Rosa, Sophie said proudly, letting the spider walk across her hand. She's a Chilean rose-hair tarantula. Isn't she beautiful? A gelatin student quite literally melted into a puddle of terror. The avian representative flew straight into the ceiling panels and refused to come down. That is a venomous predator. Professor Trill9 stammered, backing against the wall. She's only venomous to bugs, Sophie explained patiently. And she's really gentle. See? She gently stroked the tarantula's abdomen with one finger. The third human child, Marcus Johnson, raised his hand. Should I not show everyone my snake, then? Snake? The word sent another wave of panic through the classroom. Please, humans, Professor Trill9 pleaded, her skin turning a pale shade of terrified blue. Surely you understand why bringing apex predators to an educational institution is inappropriate? Tommy looked at Buddy, who was now on his back, wiggling and begging for belly rubs from a horrified crystalline student. But they're not predators. They're pets. We keep them in our homes. They sleep in our beds. You sleep with predators? A brave Fluffian student peeked out from under her desk. Voluntarily? Sophie nodded enthusiastically. Rosa's terrarium is in my bedroom. Sometimes I hold her while I do homework. It's relaxing. Relaxing, Professor Trill9 repeated faintly. You find proximity to a venomous 8-legged predator, relaxing. Marcus finally pulled out his snake, a small corn snake with beautiful orange and red patterns. This is Noodle. He's a constrictor, but he's only dangerous to mice. He's actually kind of scared of people. As if to prove the point, Noodle immediately tried to hide in Marcus's sleeve. Slowly, very slowly, curiosity began to overcome fear. A Vrelian student cautiously approached Buddy, who responded by rolling over and presenting his belly. When nothing terrible happened, others began to inch closer. On Earth, Tommy explained, we domesticated these animals thousands of years ago. We evolved together. They protect us, and we take care of them. But Earth is classified as a Class 12 Deathworld, Professor Trill9 said, her color slowly returning to normal. Everything there is trying to kill everything else. Sophie smiled, Rosa still crawling peacefully across her hands. Yeah, but that's exactly why we learn to make friends with the scary things. It's easier than fighting them all the time. By the end of the class, Buddy had received belly rubs from half the students. Rosa had been carefully observed through a magnifying glass by the aspiring xenobiologists, and Noodle had actually fallen asleep while being gently petted by a Fluffian child. Professor Trill9 made a note in her datapad: humans do not conquer their world's dangers. They befriend them and call them pets. This explains, disturbingly much. She paused, then added, next week's show and tell, no humans. My hearts cannot take it.